open position on the neck. And in this video or live stream, we're going to look at some different positions. This was introduced to me by a guy named Michael Wilcox in Oakland, somewhere around 2003, 2004, something like that. There was another guy that had an article in Bass Player magazine that talked about this as well. And I can't remember his name, but it's going to be beneficial. So if you're on a 4-string, ignore my 5th string. If you're on a 5-string, you can follow along. The first position we're going to start with the key of G major. Okay. There's the scale in the 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4 position. But as I've mentioned in other videos, we want to also get the additional string. So there's root 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So from the root to the 11th, right? But we want to also get this the major 7th as well. Okay, so let's call this when Wilcox taught it to me, he called it position 7-1. We're gonna call it root position. Okay, that's what we're gonna call it. Now we're not playing any open strings. For 5-stringers, we're going to come back to the 5-string, okay? What I want to do is put on auto pad, and I'm just going to play a pad with a G pad, right? Like I was mentioning in the other video, listen to each note against the pad, right? Against the tonic. You hear that dissonance? Tension, release. The 2, major 3rd, perfect 4th, perfect 5th, major 6th, major 7th. Now, Victor Wooten brought this up. Here's the major 7th. Thanks for the super chat, Tiny. There's the major 7th, right? There's also the major 7th. It doesn't sound as dissonant. It's almost like the higher it gets, the prettier it sounds, right? Maybe not as a rule, but anyway. I just wanted to point that out. There's our root. There's that major scale. Now we're going to come back to the B string. The next position I want to show you is going to be position, I'm going to call it position 5 for right now, because it's going to start on the 5th scale degree. Okay, but let's go back to what we know. We know this shape. We know that. So where else can we find that? Thanks for the super chat. You see that scale there? That's the same as this. Same exact thing. But we have notes on this E string that below it. Now we're going to get to the 5th string, but I want to make sure that I cover the 4 string stuff. There's the 5. So that's why I'm going to call it position 5. Now, I want you to keep that, remember what I just said about position 5. Okay? Remember that, because you're going to see where shapes start to overlap and come, you know, they just repeat, they just start repeating. Now we're going to look at what I'm going to call position 3, starting from the 3rd scale degree. And there's good reason why we're doing this. So the 3rd scale degree, if we're looking at the scale from G, A, B, is the 3rd. Got a little bit of a stretch right there. If we were strict and we stayed within 4 frets, if we limited ourselves to 4 frets, then all we would have is this. So let's do that. Let's set the parameter and say we're only going to stay at 4 frets. Okay, for each one of these positions, we're not going to stretch outside of 4 frets. Okay, so position, root position, or position 7-1, because the lowest note is the 7th scale degree. Sorry. I left out the C. Position 3. And position 5. Now let's look at this B string, okay? I know people that come in with 4 strings, they be wanting to, well, you got to ignore, number one, ignore that B string, right? And understand it's just an extra string. But remember position 5? Starting with the 5th scale degree. Well, there we identified that major scale box. That major scale box is here. So then guess what? You guessed it, there will be position 5. There's position 5 right there. By that logic, where would position 1 of G major be on the 5-string bass or root position? So now we're looking at the 5th string not as some accessory, but a part of the instrument. I'm saying that because I was like this myself, that I was just like, oh, when I first started playing 5-string, was like, oh, the 5th string is just an accessory. It's not. It's a part of the instrument. So we want to know that string, learn from the lowest string. So there's position 7-1 or root position, right? So then by that logic, so we got position 5. where would position 3 live from the lowest string? Well, depends now, right? What do I mean? Right now I want movable shapes. I want to stick to movable closed string shapes, because I'm going to move this. So where would that be? Now I did shift out of that position. I did do like I've called it, when it was taught to me, it was called a compression shift. Because when I get to this finger, instead of being in 4 frets, I'm going to compress to where my pinky is, a whole step away, so I can switch here, then there. Position 3, if I'm using open strings, let me know if that makes sense in the comments, or in the comments, whatever. So now that we've got these shapes, we've seen these shapes, where else do we see shapes repeat? Let's go back to our 4-string thinking. I'm gonna keep it for the 4-stringers real quick. So there's starting from the 3rd. We already know this. You see the patterns overlap, right? Let's go to a different key, see what that's like. What about F? There's F. Lowest string here is F, because I'm playing 5. The lowest closed string, position 7-1, or root position. So then, by this logic, where would position 3 be? Now, if I go up, there's that shift again, that shift I was talking about earlier. Remember listening to those notes against the root. There's the 4. Position 3, if I'm on thinking 4-string. I'm sorry, position 3, 4, position 3, 4. One, 2, 3. I could start from the 3rd scale degree or the 4th scale degree here. The Phrygian. We talked about position 5. So I'm trying to stay away from open strings right now. So where's F? There. So then where would position 5 be? Just below it. That's 3 positions. We looked at the root position, the 3rd position, which starts on the 3rd scale degree, and then position 5, which starts on the 5th scale degree. Let's go back to key of G. So G major. If I'm on a 4-string, I'm just playing that box, and then I'm giving myself the parameter to stay within 4 frets. Position 5 starts on the 5th scale degree. Position 3 starts on the 3rd scale degree, which in the key of G is B. But watch this. On a 5-string, there's my major scale, my position, my root position. There it is right there. But then I start, then when I get these multiple positions, you can start experimenting with how you shift. So right there, I ran into a goofy shift, right? So what do I do? just found another place within those two boxes to shift. With my first finger. Now, some of this practice I haven't done in a little while, and it feels rusty. So I gotta getting back into it in real time, with you guys. Today is Thursday, right? Today is Thursday. I just had a calendar thing pop up, and I thought that I missed a meeting. Anyway, so. That's just a tried and true kind of, scalar exercise. Here's staying within 4 frets. Right? I'm going back up to the root. Also in this, if you're a 5-stringer and you're thinking about that floating thumb, I think every time technique is something that I think, what I'm telling you is a way. It's not the way, but it's definitely a way. What I believe is that you should be working on technique all the time. So we talked a lot about the left hand. Let's as much as you can observe my right hand and what I do with my thumb. So my thumb is up here on the B string. Yeah, it's resting. Rewind. Let me start from the lowest string because we're in position 5. When I need to bring my thumb, when I need to play that note, I just bring my thumb up. My thumb never rests on this. My thumb never just kind of hangs out and lives on a pickup. So when I need to play that note, I just lift my thumb off. Just lift it up. When I crossed over, thumb came down. Thumb is coming down, or up rather. So while we're here, let's go to position 6. Or the natural minor, that would be E. Now, I didn't talk about position 6 earlier because but there's that compression shift again. Look at this. I can't stay. So This is a good moment right here. What do I do? What should I have done? How about this? What is this note related to the root, which is G? It's 2 Dorian. There's that compression shift again. You see what's happening with the thumb? You see what's going on with the thumb? You guys are quiet, but I hope that you see what's happening there with the thumb, right? So that's 3 positions. We really talked about 3 positions. Position, root position. Right? Position 3. What is position 3 again? B in the key of G. And also position 5. Back to 4 string specific. Let's take the B string out of it. Position 7-1 or root position. Position 3. Position 5. Now, if I wanted to do that same thing in one position without shifting out or whatever, just that simple little soul groove. You see what I mean? Just right, Nolan, what's up? Just in that one position. Let's think we're taking that idea. Boom, be do dee do. We're just going from 1 we're going 1 and on the groove we're playing 1 6 5 1 6 5 of each one of those chords, but I'm sticking in that root position. Running away with me, just my imagination, running away with me. I'm trying to sing and play it. I can't sing and play it at the same time. So what if I did that? How would I find that in the next position? The next position was 5. Now, how do I want to talk this out to you? So 1 6 5. Now there's my the root of the next chord, but I don't want to shift out of position. So where's 6? There's the root 6. There's 5 of that chord. Now, is that a playing decision that I would actually make? No. Let's look at the 5-string shape for you 5-stringers. There's position 7-1. See that? What was that? So now I'm kind of seeing those multiple positions. I goofed there, but what does this sound? Then back to the scale shape, if I want to go back to the scale shape. You dig? One more thing and then I'm gonna hop off. Thank you for the super chat. One more thing before we hop off. Back to the four string perspective. For my 4-stringers, I want to start there. Here's position 7-1. I'm doing this for myself. So right here, second finger, we're going to take the half steps away. Where are the half steps? There's a half step between 7 and 1. Where's another half step? There's a half step between 3 and 4. Right? We're going to take those away. And what are we left with when we do that? That's right, major pentatonic. But now let's think about position 5. Okay, starting from the 5th scale degree. Now we're doing this for the 5 stringers, right? So now we're going to think about this. We're going to take all the half steps out, but we're still going to be thinking about this from the position 5 perspective. We still have a major pentatonic scale. If you were on live last night and you saw me do that thing with my thumb, I just did it there. I don't know where I got that from. It's just something that I do. There we go. That was position 5. Position 5 down here, or up here. That note is not a part of the scale, so we can't do it in the 4th fret range that we can't do it in the 4th fret range that we were talking. You know, we're limiting ourselves to the 4th fret range, so it's the same thing we did here. Watch this. There's my major pentatonic. So now here's another way to look at the major pentatonic. Sound familiar? Just some chromatics added into there. Sound familiar? I'm gonna give you something extra. I gotta go. Let's have some fun. Since we're here now, shit. There's the lick, right? Now I'm not gonna explain the lick. We've been doing a lot of talking. If you are late to the party, you missed a lot. We're gonna take all the stuff that we looked at, and I'm being hypothetical here, right? But all the stuff that we looked at, practicing those scales and those constraints in those boxes, and then we open up a little bit, and then we take a familiar sound. Everybody recognizes that as Sir Duke. But now, instead of just learning that lick, we're going to take it and move that lick to every key. Okay? C major. I'm just going to do that one part. Okay? Where else could I do it? Here's position playing on a 5-string. Right? What about the key of F? What's the next key? The next key is B flat. What's the next key? E flat. Ooh, E flat. Now, check it out. If I start E flat right there, I got to do something different. So now I done stepped outside of the practice box that I was working in, right? Now to make some modifications. What could I do? Looking for an extra string. Anybody know? I don't think I have a choice. Unless I just came here. But we use our position stuff to figure that out, right? So A flat is going to be next. Easy to like do that faster where my time suffers on that last part, and harder to do it slow. A flat. What's the next key? Next key is going to be D flat. So how does it go? That's 5. to 1. The next key is G flat or F sharp. Next key is going to be B. Ooh, sloppy time. Now, before I go further, B flat is, I think it's B flat is, no, it's a B. It is B. So I think it's B. It's B. Let's look at it how it really goes on the recording. Sorry. But actually, Nate Watts does it higher on the neck. So all that position playing that we did earlier today, you see that? You see where the position playing comes into play? No pun intended. When I was younger and I tried to play this, I used to have the most ridiculous shifting trying to get from down here to up here, and it never made sense until we started thinking about position playing. Right? I'm just doing that part right there. Then when I got when I did that, that's done with that position. Sorry. You got time in that space to get there. Nalan says, do I need to learn circle of fifths, fourths, thirds all at once? That's a fantastic question. What I would suggest is learning fourths first. Let me turn this off for a second. That's a great question. Fourths first. The reason for that is Western harmony, most songs are going to move in a fourths-wise motion. Last night, I think it was you or was it Ali on bass that said something about fourths. Another tried and true exercise. Also, I have for those who don't know, I have a tool. It is free. It's completely free. I think it's linked below. It's an interactive circle of fifths tool. Let me get a link and put in the chat. I have to shorten the link. But I would definitely, me personally, I would say fourths first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a link down in the chat. And it'd be easier for you to click on the link. But like, check this out. So if we're going in fourths, let's take the major scale by itself. Just the major scale shape. 1 octave. We'll do major first. C. Whereas the fourth above is going to be F. B flat. E flat. A flat. D flat. G flat. B. E. A. D. G. And then back to C. And also, like, remember lowest string, so C. F. B flat. E flat. A flat. D flat. So now I got to take my own medicine. I got to eat my own medicine, right? That's saying that to me, hey, bro, you need to practice that more because you need to be doing that faster. C. F. B flat. E flat. G flat. B. Dude. What's a fourth above B? E. A. D. G. C. I need to put that back into practice. On one string. I need to do that. Tiny said, what would be considered an example of call and response? Call and response could be, that could be one phrase. And this would be the response. That makes sense? I would 1, 2, 4. I would look at that as an example of call and response. All right, gang. I need to get on to the day, friends. But I hope that you found some value in this, and yeah. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm always around in the chat. If you want to support the channel, like, subscribe, pick up Bass Note Master. You know, I know it looks like I'm a fortunate kind of a person where I can spend time on this YouTube channel, but I am a one-man operation, one guy doing this by himself. And I still got, electricity bills, internet bills, and all that stuff. So, there's a lot of ways that you can, support the creation of this free content. You know what I mean? So let me show you real quick the Circle of Fifths tool. It's in the chat. It's in the chat. When you choose a key, it'll give you an analysis of the key. I should really like to be honest with you, this right here is a tool that is worth not being free. Okay, but it is free. Okay, so when you pick a key, you get an analysis of that key. One direction is fourths, the other direction is fifths. There are some mini lessons here. Okay, there's some quizzes here. And then there's also the pocket scientist, right? Where you can ask questions. So if I say, what is the third mode of A flat, right? It's going to give you some answers at some point. It will work, I promise you. Okay? But if you say, what's a good recipe for gumbo, you're going to get a response like this one. My focus is strictly on music theory and how it applies to your low-end grooves. It's not going to give you questions about that, things about that. And if you choose that link, it'll take you to the bass note master. All right. So this is an absolutely free tool, and the link is below. I'm gonna have a shorter. I'm gonna find a shorter link, but so look, you click on this, it'll take you right to Bass Note Master. Again, Bass Note Master has this is the home page. All right. You start it's a free trial, but there is no subscription. It's a one-time payment, right? Of $9.99. That's how much this tool costs. And I can give you 30-day free. If you click on support and you need support, you get me on the support. I am the support team, right? I am the support team. So that's Bass Note Master. Will I be on later today? Nah, no live, no more lives today. I got a festival. I have a lot of gigs coming up. I have a festival on Saturday. I got some blues gigs coming up. I'm really surprised at how light that bass is. And the quality of the gig bag is pretty nuts also. So anyway, I've had fun today. I think this was a good use of time today. Nalan, love seeing you. This channel has historically been like 95% male, so it's really cool to see some ladies in the building, because ladies play bass too. Anywho, I appreciate y'all. I really appreciate y'all rocking with me. There's other places that you could be on the web, on the worldwide interwebs, and there's a lot of good creators out there. So I'm honored that you count me as one that you like spending time with. All right. It ain't rocket science. It's pocket science. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Peace. 2 fingers.